Hi guys, Mr. Kuroda here. We're going to do a review of long division, the steps we need to do to solve long division problems. We're going to do a few examples together just so you can see the process in action a couple more times, and then your work today is going to be to do some practice problems. So when we do long division, we are going to keep four key letters in mind. They help remind us of the steps that we're going to follow. Those letters are D, M, S, B. And remember that means division, multiplication, subtraction, and then bring down. No matter how big or small our division problem is, we're always going to do the same steps. We just might have to use them one time, two times, three times, or more than that, depending on the size of the problem. The steps are always the same. We just rotate through the cycle more and more the bigger the problem is. So we're going to give you three examples here. We're going to give you 4 into 51, so 2 digits, 4 into 713, 3 digits. I'm going to give you 4 into 9,602, so 4 digits. Regardless of how many digits there are, the steps are exactly the same. So let's get to our first problem here. We have 4 into 51. So I'm going to start with my division problem. I'm just going to write my D on the side here. D, M, S, B to help me keep track. So my 4 is going to go into the 5. So my 4, always using that number over here. That number is the one that we're always going to do all our steps back with. So we're going to look at that number and say, well, the 4 goes into the 5 because that's our first place value column. Our tens, we're going to work from left to right. So the 4 goes into the 5 one time. Okay. How I know that is 1 times 4 is 4. It is smaller than the 5 in the tens column. I can never make it go over. So I've done my division step by saying 4 went into 5 one time. That was my division step. My multiplication step is I did 1 times 4 is 4. So there's my multiplication step. So 1 times 4 is 4. Now my next step is subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 5 minus 4 is 1. Now my last step of this cycle is I'm going to bring down. I am going to bring down the 1, which is the next place value over from the 5 in the tens column. I'm going to bring that down and create an 11. That's my next number I'm going to work with. Now I'm going to start my process all over again, my DMSB. So I'm going to do my D for a second time, always using that 4. So 4 goes into the 11. 4 divides into the 11, and I know it's going to divide in 2 times. So I've got my second D finished. My next step is M, so I'm going to multiply 2 times 4, my multiply step, which gives me 8. And then I'm going to subtract 11 minus 8 in my subtract step, and that gives me 3. Because there's nothing left to bring down over here, I can't do my next bring down step. I am finished. So if nothing left to bring down and the 4 doesn't divide into the 3, I know that's my remainder. So my answer is 12, remainder 3. That is the process of long division shown for you. We're using divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. It's really important that I keep these numbers nice and organized. Because 4 goes into 5 one time, I want to make sure the 1 is directly above the 5. Because 4 goes into 11 two times, I want to make sure that 2 is directly in that same column here as the 1 that I brought down. Keeping that place value is really, really important. I'm going to show you in my next video how to solve these two problems here.